Hey there. So, till now we were doing a lot of things in Bash and we also hosted a Flask application, but our workflow is not that great because every time we want to work on something on our CentOS instance, you first have to go to the directory, and then if the PEM file is there, then you type SSH CentOS your IP, and then you type the PEM file name, and then you basically SSH into that instance. But what if I am in some other folder and I want to SSH, or what if I don't have the PEM file, or I just want it from another folder because I am trying to transfer over some file or something else, right? So we need to improve our workflow in many different ways, and that is what we are going to be focusing on in this video. So if you are doing this for the first time, you might have to firstly generate a SSH key pair. So what happens when you type SSH your username, IP address, and then the PEM file? The PEM file is basically a private key, a key that you will be using to SSH into your instance. So you are supplying that identity key to the SSH command. Now, on the other side of the story, on the CentOS side, they have some trusted public keys, authorized keys, and you can actually see those authorized keys if you go to authorized keys, and here you will be able to see, okay, so this is the one key that is authorized. Now this is the public key. You can give this key to anyone. Unless and until they don't have the PEM file, they cannot log in. So this is the public part of that RSA key pair, and the one that we have, the PEM file, is the private part. That is the one that you have to keep secured. Now let's actually exit this, and every computer has its own, or actually you can generate a key pair and save it in the default directory. So now to generate a key pair, what you do is you can just type ssh-keygen and just go through all this, and it will generate a ID RSA inside the SSH folder. Now I cannot obviously show you this, but and you can easily generate by just following the commands, but since I already have it generated and in my different servers, I am not going to generate a new one. But if I want to show you one, what I can do is, this is the one that I am going to be setting on the server. So this is my public key. It's the public key specific to this computer, specific to the private key that is generated, ID_RSA, and ID_RSA.public.pub is the public part of that key pair. And now I need to copy this over to the authorized keys on my server. So how can I do this? I can cat this, copy this manually, and or I have this handy little command alias in my config that just copies it to my clipboard. So yeah, this is just me copying it to the clipboard, and then what I can do is I can log in once to that instance, and then go over to the authorized keys and then just paste it right here. So now as you see, the Kitaritsu key has been pasted, and now I can just exit it and exit it again. So now I don't ever need my PEM file. I can log in from anywhere as long as I am trying to SSH from this PC and not from any other PC, because that key pair is specific to this server, to my PC. So I need to be trying to SSH from my PC. So now if I do this, I can easily log in. And you may ask, I was in the same folder. It does not matter. Even if I go to some other folder, as you can see, my folder has changed, and if I try to log in, it will still allow me to log in. But again, you might say this is a lot of steps, like you have to generate your key and then copy it manually. There's actually an easy way, but for that, let me just first clear the authorized key that we actually pasted. I'll just, yeah, and then exit. So now if you see, I won't be able to log in again, right? So let's actually first go in there. Yeah, now what I can do is I can use simple SSH copy ID command, which will allow me to copy the whole file. And we have to use the force flag because it thinks that the key already exists, because we are also passing the other key, and that is the reason, nothing else. Now the key that I want to copy is demo-mlh. So I will write demo-mlh.pem, and the instance I want to copy it over to is CentOS 3.108.194.219. and this will copy it. As you can see, number of keys added is 1. And now we can just try to log in simply using the SSH command that we are logging in, and it's done. So you don't have to cat it, you don't have to copy it, and you don't have to manually log in and do it. This one command does it all for you. SSH copy ID -f this and CentOS and your IP address. So now there are many more things that you can do. One that I usually love to use is, because I am not a great terminal user, I sometimes just love to enjoy VS Code. So if you open VS Code has this amazing extension. Just give me 1 second while my VS Code boots up. Awesome. So yeah, here I have my VS Code. As you can see, under the extensions tab, we have one extension known as remote SSH. Once you have remote SSH installed, what you can do is you can connect to your remote instance, and you can actually do whatever you are doing inside your VS Code, but access all the files that are there. So what you need to do is you need to press on this thing on left side bottom and click on connect current window to host, and then you can simply type in the IP address that you have. So I will just type CentOS @ and I will actually copy the IP from here, 3.108.194.219, and then it will take a minute just to set up everything in there. And once it's done, you can click on open folder, and since I have my Flask block there, I can simply open that up, and I have the whole thing here. And as you can see, it's connected via SSH. So if I want to edit any of my files, I can just do it right from here. So I can just edit all of the files right from here. Awesome. So now you are not limited by the terminal window, by tmux or anything. You can actually use it totally here. And the best part is, if you go here, you have the terminal right here. You can even forward any port that you want. So if while testing, if I run Flask run, of course I need to first source it and then Flask run. Okay, it's already in use. I have it in background. So and then what it will just pop up in the port, and I can add a auto forward it, and then I can just open it in my browser. So yeah, that's how it works. Awesome. So set this up so that it's really easy for you to edit any settings that you are doing on your PC or working with your CentOS instance, and it will be much easier to use, and you are not limited by the folder you are in. You can SSH from anywhere. So just to review, first you have to generate using SSH keygen, then you can SSH copy ID using this command, and you should be good to go, and then you can set up your VS Code. Awesome. See you in the next video. Bye bye.